Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Irrelevant Sports. I'm your host, Marissa.womack. I just wanted to do a disclaimer for this episode that there will be a few awkward pauses just because our audio wasn't synced completely. But for the next few episodes, it has been fixed. So, yeah, I'm just going to take it on over. I am here with Grace Sorrells. This is the... I don't even know which episode, when this will come out, the timeline of this. But this one we're calling Shoot Your Shot with Grace because for those of you that don't know, she is a photographer, a sports photographer. So I'm just going to let her do her little intro and everything.
So hi everyone, my name is Grace. I am from Rock Hill, South Carolina, a little bit like across the state line from Charlotte, North Carolina. I am currently a junior at the University of South Carolina, and I am studying visual communications with a minor in business administration. And like you said, Marissa said, I am a sports photographer. I do a little bit of everything, but I do mostly sports and especially focusing basketball.
Yeah, so I don't even know. I was thinking about this before you got on, like how I ended up finding your account, because I know it was when you took pictures of like Bryce or something, and then I ended up just like stalking you, and then I had like a project this semester, and I didn't even know that she went to South Carolina at this point, and I'm like looking back, and I was like, literally, I sent her the most professional email ever. And it's so weird because I'm like, she's literally just like in college with me. But
Yes,
yeah.
I am.
Where did kind of you start your brand? And like when did you decide that you wanted to do photography?
So I was in high school. I was a sophomore in high school when I started taking photos. I was definitely like this is not where I expected to see myself, especially when I was in high school. I had no clue what I wanted to do. One of my teachers in high school was an assistant coach for the boys soccer team at our high school. So it's just funny now how everything can evolve from where it first begun. But I was offered to just run the social media, and he always saw me on my phone. He's like, "You'd be great at this." And I was like, you know what? I'll try it out. My boyfriend at the time had a camera, and I was like, well, why don't I just try it out? Fell in love with it. And not only that, just falling in love with like that team family atmosphere. I was like, this could be a really cool gig. And so slowly throughout the rest of my year of high school, I started incorporating myself in other different programs at the high school. So the basketball team, the football team. By my senior year, I was doing pretty much every single sport that was at the school. When I was in high school, I was swimming. So I was not only swimming and, going to practice and actually being like the team captain of my team, but also going taking photos at the football game on Friday night. Shot with Grace wasn't really born until I got to college, and that's when it kind of like really fully became a situation where I was like, do I want to do this full time? Is it a hobby? Is this something that I really want to see myself doing after college? And that was definitely what I wanted to do. And kind of just playing off the word grace, not only of it being my name, but also just like, the spiritual meaning of the word grace and what it could mean to so many people. And so not only you're getting the opportunity to shoot with me, but I'm shooting with this level of grace and giving people like the product and the stuff that they would want.
Yeah, I really like the play off of it. I didn't even know that it had like a deeper meaning for you, so that's really cool. Where kind of did it grow into like being able to shoot for like bigger named athletes?
Yeah, so I was still in college and I was just kind of figuring out what exactly my role was going to be and how I was going to be able to pursue this. I'm an extremely self-motivated person, so as soon as I get my mind set on something, I was just going to be right after getting as much as I can, like, stuff done. When I was still in high school, though, I decided that, maybe I'll just look into it a little bit more, find other people in the industry that I could look up to, especially other women. And I had looked up, because I'm so close to Charlotte, I was like, why don't I just look up the Hornets staff and see who was on their media staff and who helped run the stuff that we see on social media or on the news or anything. And I was fortunate enough to come across a graphic designer that worked for the Hornets, and he said, when I was in high school, why don't you go and come and shadow a game and come and see how you like it? And I was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Because for the longest point, I had just been shooting high school stuff and definitely nothing close to professional paid athletes. And I had no clue how a full day ran. I mean, I would just show up whenever the coach would tell me, you know, be here when the players get here, or I could just be there late. It didn't really matter because it was not anything serious until I was putting myself in a serious situation. That game I got to shoot was at 8 o'clock at night. I was told to be there at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And so I had to be there for full setup, getting the full rundown on how, if you wanted to be interested in this, you have to see what it needs to be able to go and get everything that would need to be done in a full game day. So players walking in, making sure all your equipment's set up. This is the facility. This is the lighting that you need to understand. This is how we run things with how we get posts out, where we can set up our stuff. It was a full rundown, and like my mind was just blown. I was like, how did this even happen? For the longest, it was just me. So seeing a team go and run it was completely different. And just getting a little taste of that before I got to college definitely helped push me to go ahead and continue making those connections and continue to growing. I was still working locally in Rock Hill, just doing shoots wherever I could, bouncing between Columbia and Rock Hill. It's about an hour drive between my hometown and where I went to school, or still am in school. And I was working an event in Rock Hill, and at the time there was a lot of big high school basketball players were coming through the area. Bryce McGowan's being one of them, but 5-star Mikey Williams was there, and a bunch of other players who are now notable either in college or now in the NBA. And at the time, LaMelo Ball had just been drafted to the Hornets, and he went and attended the game, and I got introduced to his manager and him. And lo and behold, they kept my contact, and about 6 months later, I got a call, and I've been working with them ever since. So it kind of just started evolving once I got to college, and just making sure that I put myself out there and being willing to go make those connections.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's, like, cool, though, that, like, they, like, kept your contact, and, like, even though it was months later, like, you still work with them now, so.
Yeah.
What do you kind of do now in your free time, like in college?
So at the same time of me going and traveling and going wherever with me doing shoots, obviously I'm still a college student. I love going out to just going outside. I love being able to go and appreciate that. Me and my family are super close, so sometimes I'll come home on the weekends. I love cooking, so that's also a fun way for me to just get away. I'm always on my phones or on my laptop editing, so anytime I'm away off of the socials or off of my laptop is a great time. I live at a place that has a really nice porch, so I get to go sit on my porch a lot, and just kind of decompress in those ways, just not necessarily always being on technology.
What would you say to your younger self now if you had the chance? And this doesn't have to be photography related.
Yeah, I think for me, when I did get the taste of what it could be like to be successful and in the industry that you wanted to be, I was very fortunate to meet the people that I met while I was still in high school and college and connect with those people. And, you know, this will help me for once I do go and graduate. But a lot of myself just kept pushing for more shoots, more time, more editing, more time on the road. And with that, I almost got to a point where I didn't even want to pick up a camera anymore. I was just so burnt out. So making sure that not only you're healthy within yourself, but you take time to take off and not be completely at every single event or, you know, off your phone. Just, it can always be overwhelming. And what I learned is that social media is never going to stop changing and it's never going to stop growing. So even if you're off it for a day, it's going to be okay, because by the time you get on tomorrow, there's going to be something new. So it'll be fine if you take time off. And I think that younger me, if you would have told her that, she would have been like, no, there's no way that if I miss one thing, then it will be okay. But it will be okay. You can take time off and you can take time away from the dream. The dream's still going to be there, but making sure that you're both mentally and physically to where you want to be able to achieve that goal. Because I don't want to get to the finish line and I'm, a hot mess and, sweating and all this stuff. I want to be exactly where I want to be at the time it's supposed to be happening. So don't rush it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, like, for me, like, getting to become, like, a broadcaster, this whole semester, I've just been, like, pushing myself so far beyond what I, like, really should be doing. And I had to take, like, a mental break. Mm-hmm. And on my other podcast, like, I talked about how I, like, literally just had to, like, sit and, like, reflect on, like, this past semester and, like, be like, you did not prioritize your mental health or your physical health. And, like, you're prioritizing your career, but, like, at the end of the day, like, a career is always going to be there.
Yep. Absolutely. Reflection's key. Very much key.
Yeah. Yeah. So kind of how do your parents feel about, like, everything with, like, photography?
Yeah, so when I was in high school, it definitely just looked like it was going to end up being a hobby, which is what I thought it was going to be too. And slowly when it started getting a little bit bigger, the context started getting a little bigger, I started being able to travel more. I remember me and my mom having a conversation, I think 2 summers ago, and we were just driving back home after, like, a family dinner. And she had brought it up to me. She was like, Grace, I really don't see you stopping. And I was like, what do you mean? She was like, I don't think you can stop. I was like, you gotta elaborate. I don't really understand. She was like, there's a lot of people that depend on you. And there's a lot of people that are looking to you to get work done. So take you out of that equation, I just don't see that happening. And I was just like, well, I think now it's kind of clicked. For the longest, it was, I'm going to this event. My family grew up, we're in the South. We grew up big college football fans, football. Yep. My clientele grew very fast to be basketball. So not only did I have to go and learn a completely new environment, and I wouldn't say I didn't know anything about basketball, but I did not know basketball as well as I knew football. But I had to learn all of these things, especially coming into that industry. My parents did not know that. So either through word of mouth, through me, or through other peers that they had heard how I work, I think it finally slowly started to kick in that this is moving very, very fast for Grace, and that it's going, you got to get on it now. And I think that now that we've had that conversation and they kind of see how dedicated I am to growing and really taking this seriously, I think that now they're completely on board and they're really excited about my future.
Yeah. That's, like, really nice. I feel like having supportive parents, like, behind you is, like, very important, especially, like, when you're gonna have to be traveling and, like, constantly, like, not home. And, like, most sports are on the holidays, so, like, you never, like, know where you're gonna be or, like, what you're gonna be doing.
Yeah.
That's what I've come to the realization recently. I'm like, this might be my last holiday with my family. But
it's a sacrifice for sure.
Yeah. I saw, like, your walk-ins for the football team. I don't even know which game, and those were so good. I was like, those are probably my favorite, and it's my friends that are in them. So I'm like, oh, like my little boys.
Yes. Okay, I love doing the Gamecock walks. They're so much fun.
Yeah. And they all, like, some of them, I clown them for their outfits, but then, like, others have really good outfits. So, like, being able to see the fashion sense between football and basketball, I feel like is very fun.
Yes.
Who do you kind of hope that you start working with? And then where do you see yourself, like, by the end of it?
Yeah, so fortunately enough for me, I have really, like, sat back, especially in the past few months, and really thought about where I want to see Shot with Grace going and how this could evolve over the years. And I could really see myself kind of making this a team and making this a situation where I'm not just me. For the longest, I was editor, producer, director, photographer, videographer, graphic designer, social media, too many things to count. And so it can be overwhelming, and it can be to a point where you don't want to do it anymore. So you have to do it healthy. So I was able to get an intern about 3 months ago, and she's been a great help. And we've kind of been figuring out where we want to help push this. And I could see myself in this next year getting a team and kind of having people that will help alongside me grow the Shot with Grace brand and continue to help so many different platforms of creatives and different teams. And just with me doing sports is already so much stuff, but there's so much stuff that I do behind the scenes that aren't even sports. I literally shot a wedding on Friday. So you never know where you're going to end up, and there's nothing that I want Shot with Grace to be limited to.
Before Grace continues, I'd just like to highlight these 3 pictures that are like absolutely incredible that Grace has taken for Carolina Talent.
So I want that to be the main thing, is that I don't want there to ever be a no. There can't be a no. There's going to be a time where you can go and do that event, or you can go and try something new, even if it's something that you've never shot before. I think as of now, I've shot pretty much every main sport you could. I don't think I've shot tennis. There's a few sports I would love to be able to accomplish whenever I do get into this year. And I definitely want to start focusing, since I only have a year and a half left of me in Columbia. I want to be able to focus a lot on Carolina Talent before I graduate, because who knows I'm going to go on to graduate. If I could stay in the Carolinas, great. But I could be moving to California, New York, any major city. I may not even be in the United States. But for me, being from here, and I think that connecting with those relationships before I do leave would be something that I really look forward to growing into. There's no one specifically that I would be like, I have to work with them. I'd love to. Maybe not even sports related. If I could work a J. Cole concert, I'd be so excited. But other than that, I don't think there's anything or any specific person that I'd be like, I have to go shoot for them.
Have you like thought about going into like artist photography and like doing concerts and things like that?
I've shot one concert now for a guy named Vance Joy in Charlotte, and it was so much fun, and I really, really enjoyed it. I went backstage with them, and
such a sweetie.
It was a really, really great. He is a sweetie, and it was a really, really fun concert to be at, and I was like, I would definitely do this, especially if it was on a larger scale, smaller scale. That is not what I normally shoot, so my connections in that are not as strong as my sports ones. But if I can get some more stronger, music connections, I would definitely go and shoot those too.
Who have you?
I'm ready.
Who has been the best to work with?
I really had a fantastic time shooting with Kelly Oubre, who plays with the Charlotte Hornets. He and his family are absolutely fantastic. I got to go and shoot his daughter's first birthday party, and it was her first time her face has ever been shown to the public. And he had a vision, and he had a way that he really wanted this to be displayed. And he's planning on filming his own documentary, so I was helping shoot some stuff for that as well. But he was just so kind and so creative, and really wanted us to be able to be included with the event as well. But he was awesome and so polite, so I definitely would work with him again.
That's so sweet. And then who would you say is not the best? Or like not even the worst, but just like they weren't in the right mindset, or like it just didn't go as planned?
Oh, there's been plenty of people that I would either stray away from, or I, would definitely not necessarily look forward to an event. I won't say any names, but let's just say that I was called for an event that was around 15 states away, and I drove from South Carolina there, and I was ghosted and blocked on everything when I got to that state. So we're not a fan of them, but that's just one of the experiences of how people, or especially athletes, can be a little bit conceited and wrong. But yes, that happened.
Holy cow. I don't even know how I would have responded.
It wasn't good.
Other than for photos.
I think you know the answer to this, and the answer is most definitely
I know.
yes. Most definitely yes. Yeah, the boys will be boys is what I've learned, and it does not matter the age or whatever status you may have. Boys will continue to be boys. So yes.
Yeah, I was like on your Instagram the other day stalking you, and like I would like look at the recommended comments, and like all of them are just like basketball players, and I'm like, oh, they have to be in her DMs. They have to.
Yes, not even the ones that comment, not even the ones that follow me. They're everywhere.
They're sneaky. Sneaky ones.
They are. They're smart. They're smart, but
yeah,
they're still dumb.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so now we're playing F, Marry, Kill, but like Kiss,
Yes.
because some of them are like married with children, but it's fine.
F my kiss.
So, yeah. Well,
Okay.
no, Kiss, Marry, Kill.
Kiss, marry, kill. Okay. Got it.
Yeah. Okay, the first one is obviously Kelly Oubre, Mello,
Okay.
and then Bryce.
Okay. Like Alex?
Yeah.
Okay, so I am going to have to kiss Kelly, marry Bryce, kill Mello.
Oh, Mello.
Yes, they'll live, they'll be fine, but yes. Bryce is too sweet to not, and Kelly's great too, but Kelly has the most fantastic wife ever, so.
Yeah.
And also, Mello has a fantastic girlfriend too, so. Yes.
Okay, then we have Steph, Tristan Thompson, and then Jason Tatum.
I'm definitely marrying Steph. Put the ring on. I love his wife, but he get married.
Yeah.
And then Jason Tatum, and who was the other one?
Tristan Thompson.
Oh, Tristan Thompson's gotta go. He's gotta go.
Yeah.
Tristan's gone. Kiss Jason Tatum. He did my girl Chloe so wrong, and then most definitely marrying Steph Curry. Ring on the finger.
Okay, then we have Blake Griffin, Devin Booker, and I was gonna do Gigi, but he's like 17 years old, so I was like, I can't do Gigi.
He just
So I'm
turned
like,
he just turned 18, but bless. Gigi would have to go. So who's our next third option?
It'll be Gigi now that he's 18.
Okay, so
Blake
Gigi just turned 18 yesterday. Blake, Gigi, and who was the other one? Devin Booker. Kiss Devin, marry Gigi, and kill. Yeah. We'll do that. But just because Gigi is like the biggest sweetheart ever in the entire world, and now that I've been working with him for a while, he's just the sweetest.
Yeah. Okay, well that was all of the ones that I had.
Hi.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to
bad.
add before we do closing?
Follow Shot with Grace on Instagram and Twitter. Other than that, or TikTok too. Other than that, all good with me.
Yeah, for your TikTok, are you gonna start to do like when you get more walk-ins, like with the players, how that one girl does it?
There's so much opportunity with TikTok, and I definitely want to start using that more. And Instagram Reels, they create so much traction. It is a lot of effort to do video. And when I have so much passion to do photos, so I just have to continue to want to continue that.
Yeah, and I feel like you are, like, multitasking everything, but I feel like if you got, like, a team together, you'd be able to, like,
It'd be awesome.
differentiate.
I'm really excited. I really am looking forward to putting together.
Thank you so much, Grace, for coming on. It was great to talk with you.
Of course.
That is the end of the Shoot Your Shot episode. I will see you guys next week with special guest Nick Lawrenson.